Blue 30. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. The former first-round pick, Vernon Hargreaves, the one who was there defensively.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Here's Jordan Berry now. Remember, his first attempt was returned for a touchdown. Here's Jackson. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about it.
Mike Evans, he's going to go. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Catanzaro now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And it's now 21-0. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
His throw incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd down. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. With it is Jackson. Breaks through the contact. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at the 45. Now Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. He got 29 yards that time.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. And on the ground they go with the running back. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 21-0 our score. We'll return to Tampa after this message. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Ready? 125.
To throw, Winston. And Brace, the tight end's got it. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Ready? Black 22. Let it go.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Point after now from Catanzaro. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and the route is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. It was Mitch Unrein that made the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn out.
Oh, the Buccaneer Pressure too much. Down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. JPP did it all those years with the Giants. New uniform, same result.
Yeah, he shows he still got it, doesn't he? Remember, he had 58.5 sacks during his time with the Giants. A great acquisition for Tampa Bay.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 33 and a first.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue lady.
Jameis now on 1st down. A dump off to Sims. And now running right through it. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Ready. Blue lady.
2nd down, Winston. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Winston. This is caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Cameron Brate with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And this Buccaneer offense is running away with this one. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.